Ohio High Point Career Center is proud to reveal the newly named Reames Healthcare Academy in honor of Ann Reames, a career nurse, a healthcare advocate, lifelong learner, dedicated community member, and a 20-year Ohio High Point board member.
So the path I took to get my nursing licensure started right after high school. I came from a very large family, and my father had been in the Navy, and he had 1 year of college, and my mom had to quit school her sophomore year of high school because it was World War II and she needed to go to work. And then, having been in a large family, I had two brothers that were in college ahead of me, both on football scholarships, and then there was myself, and then 4 siblings still at home. And so my dad said that he was so sorry that he didn't have the money to send me to college. And so I thought, wow, what am I going to do now? But the Women's Guild at Marion General Hospital offered me a full scholarship to the Marion General Hospital School of Practical Nursing. And so I took that, and then the rest is history with my career. And then, trying to be a lifelong learner, I continued some of my college at Ohio State in Marion because I wanted to get my RN. But in there I got married and I had a son, but I continued my education, and having moved to Bell Fountain, there was no college in our community at that time. And so I had to drive back and forth to Clark State Community College for my nursing courses and all, and I did that. Have I finished my degree? No. I have almost enough credits for my bachelor's degree and about 6 credits shy of my registered nursing. But life has a way of sometimes getting in the way, but that didn't stop me from always learning. And I have been very blessed in my nursing career, and I hope I have served people well. I would like to share with you some details about my nursing role in the career that I've had, and it encompasses about 40 years. So I was very blessed to start out at the hospital in intensive care nursery and newborn care nursery, and I worked there for a year. And then a physician that I had known, he stopped and asked me one day if I would come to work for him. And it was an opportunity I thought that I really wanted to take. And I will tell you, in being a lifelong learner, your education in school starts the foundation, and then every job you have along the way, it's going to teach you something more, and you're going to have to learn something more as you travel through life in order to keep up with career advancement or career trainings. So I stayed with the family practitioner for 8 years, and it was like an education of itself. I was able to do a lot of lab things in order to prepare hemoglobin slides, urinalysis slides. I drew all the blood for him. As an LPN, you don't usually do those things, but when you work under a physician's license, you may do those things. And so he would even step outside the door after he had examined a patient, and he would look directly at me and he goes, "I want you to tell me what you think the diagnosis is." So I was well trained over the years. And then I worked after that. I had my son while I was working there. And so I ended up going to a part-time job. I went back to the hospital to obstetrics and gynecology. I really enjoyed that as a part-time position. And then along with that, then I taught Lamaze classes and cesarean birth classes for about 5 years. And then I saw where a position had come open in Bell Fountain, Ohio, because we were going to move out of the Marion, Ohio, Richwood, Ohio area and come to Bell Fountain. It was time for our son to start school. So I had applied for the job at the Logan County Board of Mental Retardation and Developmental Disabilities. And I started there and finished my career in nursing after 24 years. I would say I was just so blessed to take care of so many people and to learn so much. I had to learn a lot more about genetics than what I ever thought I would. So I would say life was good, and every job that I had prepared me for something more and something next. How did I become a school board member? I went to my first board meeting when my son was in school because there wasn't enough money for reading books, and he was in advanced reading classes. So I started attending the meetings, and I really liked what they were doing. I saw women on the board, and I thought I want to do what they did. And so I ran for my first election. I lost it. And there wasn't anything wrong with any of the board members that were currently on the board. I just wanted to do that job. And so if you don't put your name out there, you don't get to do it. So I tried a second time out, and I won my election. And I served 31 years at the Bellefontaine City Schools Board of Education. I think it was probably, I'm going to say 14 years ago, that I was appointed as the liaison from the Bellefontaine City Schools to the Ohio High Point Career Center Board of Education. And I have loved career technical education all my life, and I've kind of thought that I was more suited to that myself, being an LPN in a career tech pathway and then wanting to go on to be an RN. But in boardmanship, I would say our two most important responsibilities are hiring the superintendent and hiring the treasurer. And then when you hire excellent people, you should allow them to do their job, and you shouldn't try to micromanage. If you ever have an agenda, I'm going to recommend that you never run for a board. It really doesn't turn out good for anybody, not for the students and the staff, superintendent, treasurer, and it doesn't make it smooth on the Board of Education. So I would say it is wonderful to be with students. I think here we very much appreciate our students, and if you walk into our building, I would say board members and our staff know that our students are our priority here. We're very proud of our achievements here. It's a different pathway for students that are juniors and seniors in high school. So I highly recommend it. It's been a good time here for me, serving 19 years at this point. I think I have been blessed to be a lifelong learner. Sometimes I don't think that I planned it, but when I focus on it, then I've looked back at it, and certainly one position has prepared me for the next. But no matter where you are and no matter what you do, always feed your brain. It's fun to learn. It's necessary to learn. We all need to do that in order to make our world a better place. And I always say the world is kind of like our dessert tray. It offers so much in learning that there isn't anything that you can't pick and choose and probably wouldn't enjoy like a dessert, in order to focus your brain and enjoy education. It's fun. It's not something, oh my gosh, I have to do that, but oh, I learned this today. I try to learn something new every day of my life.
Ann Reames has been a pillar of service to this community, from serving in the Catholic Church, in charities, and on multiple boards of education. Ann has been the president of OHP for over a decade. She has a passion for students and a desire to see each student inspired to instill the core values of this organization that will help them have successful careers and futures. I am very excited that she is being honored in this way. She will forever remain an example for future generations of students who come through the Reames Healthcare Academy. We honor her selflessness and her willingness to serve others to improve the lives of everyone in our community, and we will teach that to every Reames Healthcare Academy student.